Hello, I am Well. Welcome back to Limbus Company Bible. Greetings. We are currently doing the rental team run for Mirror Dungeon of Names and Spiders. The first week is the Ring. Okay. Now it's time to pull back out the Old Testament. It's time to return to see the descendants of Ham. The descendants of Ham were Tush, Mizraim, Put, and Tanan. The descendants of Tush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. The descendants of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. Tush was also the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on Earth. Since he was the greatest hunter in the world, his name became proverbial. People would say, "This man is like Nimrod, the greatest hunter in the world." He built his kingdom in the land of Babylonia, with the cities of Babylon, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh. From there, he liberated. He expanded his territory to Asera, building the cities of Neveh, Rebophir, Talah, and Resen, the great city located between Neveh and Talah. Mizraim was the ancestor of Luddites, Edomites, Lehites, Nephilites, Phahurites, Sulites, and Caporites, from which the Philistines came. Tanan's oldest son was Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Tanan was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebustes, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arcadites, Sinites, Adventites, Zimarites, and Hamapherites. The Tanite twins eventually spread it out, and the territory of Tanan extended from Sidon to the north to Dinar, and Daza to the south, and east as far as Sodom, Doromora, Admah, and Zeboim, near Lasha. These were the descendants of Ham, identified by clan, language, territory, and national identity. Descendants of Shem. Sons were also born to Shem, the older brother of Jefe. Shem was the ancestor of all the descendants of Eber. Descendants of Shem were Elam, Assur, Asphyxiad, Lud, and Aram. Descendants of Aram were Uz, Kol, Jether, and Mash. Asphyxiad was the father of Salach, and Salach was the father of Eber. Eber had two sons. The first was named Peleg, which means division. For during his lifetime, the people of the world were divided into different language groups. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan was the ancestor of Amuldad, Soleil, Marveh, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abamel, Sheba, Opir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were descendants of Joktan. The territory they occupied extended from Mesha all the way to Sephar in the eastern mountains. These were the descendants of Shem, identified by clan, language, territory, and national identity. Conclusion: these are the clans that descended from Noah's sons, arranged by nation according to their lines of descent. All the nations of the earth descended from these clans after the Great Flood. The Tower of Babel. Hey, this is this black beacon now. 11. At one time, all the people of the world spoke the same language and used the same words. As the people migrated to the east, they found a plain in the land of Babylonia and settled there. They began saying to each other, "Let's make bricks, then harden them with fire!" In this region, bricks were used instead of stone, and It's tar, but then the line swaps tar what? Wait, hold on. Let me just put that. Let me just type that out. Tar was. Tar was. No, it's still the same. Tar was. What the heck does tar was mean? We are gonna have to search that up after win rate. Okay, so it is T-A-R-W-A-S. Tar was. Oh, tar was used for motor. I thought it was a single word. No, it's tar was used for motor. Then they said, "Tom, let's build a great city for ourselves, with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world." But the Lord came down to look at the city and the tower the people were building. "Look," he said, "the people are united and they all speak the same language. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them." Tom was so down to confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other. What the heck? He's just trolling at this point. So they built a tower to... So they try and get everyone, where it's like, this will make us famous so people who speak the same language will hear. Then Dodge goes, let's still confuse them. He's just going to troll them. What is this? What? That is insane, Bible War. I can't believe Dodd's trolling his people. Alright, would you troll your people when given the opportunity? We will answer in the comments. We have trimming threads. We'll be taking this and see if we can get both the fusion ego diffs. We have... Okay, I have to take the question mark node. You know I have to. But we're taking this one, which is just going to be more Fauvist. Right, for reused boss music for the random Fauvist students. In that way, the Lord scattered them all over the world, and they stopped building the city. Since he didn't want them to be able to do anything. Like, because he said everything was possible if they all speak the same language or united. So he makes them all speak different languages and scatters them across the world. What a swell die that is, you know. That's such a good thing for him to do. People must love this Dodd fella, you know. That's why the city was called Babel. Because that is where the Lord confused the people with different languages. In this way, he scattered them all over the world. The wine of the Cinq from Sheen to Abram. This is the account of Shem's family. 2 years after the Great Flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. After the birth of Arphaxad, Shem lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad was 35 years old, he became the father of Shelah. After the birth of Shelah, Arphaxad lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, he became the father of Eber. After the birth of Eber, Shelah was now 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber was 34... Did I reread? 34 years old, he became the father of Peleg. After the birth of Peleg, Eber was now 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg was 30 years old, he became the father of Ru. After the birth of Ru, Peleg was now 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Ru was 32 years old, he became the father of Shirag. The birth of Shirag, Ru was now 270 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shirag was 30 years, he became the father of Nahor. After the birth of Nahor, Shirag lived now 200 years and had other sons and daughters. And Nahor was 29 years old. He became the father of Terah. The birth of Terah. Then Nahor lived now 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abraham. Nahor and... Huh? Why would you name your son after your father? And Haran. The family of Telah. It's the account of Telah's family. Telah was the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran was the father of Lot. But Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, the land of his birth, while his father Telah was still living. Meanwhile, Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Mekah. Count and their sister Ka were sons of, or daughters of Nahor's brother Haran. Does that make them cousins? Oh no, no. Well, I'm missing the Bible. We're supposed to like. Oh yeah, everyone arrives from those. Has the pool been diluted enough? I don't know. Okay. But Sarai was unable to become pregnant and had no children. One day, Terah took his son Abraham, his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abraham's wife, and his grandson Lot, his son Haran's child, and moved away from Ur of the Chaldeans. He was headed for the land of Canaan, but they stopped at Haran and settled there. Terah lived for 205 years and died while still in Haran. If there's something will be new. This is a war zone. Alright, it's not new. What did that wait, who even has the Pointillist? Alright. Oh, that was why did I go with name with slash? Oh no, that was a bad I keep not getting any event nodes. What? Insane. I'm gonna drink of water then. We now am back from my break. Return to the Toll of Abraham. No, Abraham. I always keep saying Abraham. Just more Tom in Abraham. Well, the Lord has said to Abraham, leave your native country and your relative. No, there's Tama. No, and. I returned. I immediately mess up the Bible. Alright. Relatives. And your father's family. And go to the land that I will show you. I'll make you into a great nation. I'll bless you and make you famous. And you will be a blessing to others. I'll bless those who win right. Who bless you, and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you. So Abraham departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran. And they headed for the land of Canaan. When they arrived in Canaan, Abraham traveled through the land as far as Shechem. There, he set up camp beside the oak of Moreh. At that time, the area was inhabited by the Canaanites. Then the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, I'll give this land to your descendants. And Abraham built an altar there and dedicated it to the Lord, who had appeared to him. After that, Abraham traveled south and set up camp up in the hill country, where with Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. There he built an altar and dedicated it to the Lord, and he worshipped the Lord. And Abraham continued traveling south by stages toward the Negev. Also, while we're here, I just want to point out, so Meursault's, like, their strong suit is for some reason rust. Well, these ones are raft. It's supposed to be a raft, but they want to make the big sail a rust one. And then for this one, which is not out, is the Owl Fauvist one. Should be fried, but I'll probably make that one rust as well. And this thing that's just part, because like I said before, Limbus Company, for some reason they now lean heavy into not only wrong sin affinities, but also into making whatever status, the main status one they have to supposed to be the big damage tower as well. And of course the defense has to be it as well for res. I'm not the one who thinks that's weird, alright? It shouldn't all be like that. Better use 9-2. I think that's too dominating. Alright, let's do that then. Alright. We're at Abraham and Sarai in Egypt. At that time, a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abraham to go down to Egypt, where he lived as a foreigner. As he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abraham said to his wife Sarai, "Look, you are a very beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will have her. But please tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you." And sure enough, when Abraham arrived in Egypt, everyone noticed Sarai's beauty. When the palace officials saw her, they sang her praises to Pharaoh, their king, and Sarai was taken into his palace. Then Pharaoh gave Abraham many gifts because of her: sheep, goats, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord sent terrible plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abraham's wife. So Pharaoh summoned Abraham and accused him sharply. "What have you done to me?" he demanded. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister and allow me to take her as my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her out of here." Pharaoh ordered some of his men to escort them and sent Abraham out of the country along with his wife and all his possessions. So Abraham's a piece of shit. He wants to lie to people because he thought they would kill him. They probably would. This is like very ancient times, but he has the protection of God. He has the protection of God. I don't know what to say here, but wow, Bible. Remember, you should lie in order to get free stuff, and then they'll be thirst. What? Abraham and Lot separate. 13. So Abraham left Egypt and traveled north into the Negev, along with his wife and Lot, and all that they owned. Abraham was very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. I wonder who they just got a bunch of stuff from, or I don't think they took it back. I mean, it's also, the Pharaoh is pretty messed up for also trying to, like, just buy people over for a lot of gifts. But he also shouldn't have lied to get free stuff when he is sent by God to take some land. Don't know what land God is giving them. No, wait. They mentioned it before that the land that they went to was inhabited by the Tanites. So they take out the Tanites. I don't know. As you know, that's some sort of conflict. You know, we can't just take someone's land like that. All right. Okay, we have artwork pulsation and universal instinct. All right. There's one more T word. Where's one? I need to get now. Is this the one for the fusion? No, it's not. Oh, here's universal skeleton. There we go. And now I can fuse the corpus one. Yep. The factory socks is down. And beauty of physique. Yeah, I wish I just did some more like base power stuff to the respective one. So is it going to be sinking or bleed for the other one? I don't know. I won't check the wiki. Okay, it's a tier 3 sinking. So let's try to fuse the tier 3 sinking. Let's try to fuse the tier 3 sinking. All right. Blue star shard in the shop already. Oh. Broken compass. All right. Huh? Bandages. Distant star. Dang, this is not going well. Alright, this has to be it now. There we go. Artwork ferocity. And it's the same stuff. Blunt resist down. Damage plus. Charm of beastly. Power up next turn. I also just throwing some base like power up for them. A bit disappointing they don't, but sure, put that into 2 final power reduction. That's fine. Then we have the boss. They need to see the power of God up close, it seems. Alright, let's resume. Alright, I'm going right first, actually. Oh, they seem to be losing. I have 4 Kagalia each flip. They're only a favored. What's their SP at? 40. Really? I don't know why they are pretty bad. Yeah, there's 7. Wait, no. Yeah, it's 7 still lost. Everyone's in trash or something. Oh, there's trash in here. I thought it's going to be redirected anyway, so. I said put. No, that won't work. I'm not flashing Rodion. I should have Rodion flash over here. Okay, I think. There we go. From the Negev, they continued traveling by stages toward Bethel, and they pitched their tents between Bethel and Ai, where they had camped before. This was the same place where Abraham had built the altar, and there he worshipped the Lord Adan. Lot, who was traveling with Abraham, had also become very wealthy with flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and many tents. But the land could not support both Abraham and Lot. With all their flocks and herds moving so close together, so disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abraham and Lot. At that time, Kenites and Perizzites were also living in the land. Finally, Abraham said to Lot, "Let's not allow this conflict to come between us or our herdsmen. After all, we are close relatives. The whole countryside is open to you. Take your choice of any section of the land you want, and we will separate. If you want the land to the left, then I'll take the land on the right. For the land on the right, I'll go to the left." Lot took a long look at the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley in the direction of Zor. The whole area was well watered everywhere, like the Garden of the Lord, or the beautiful land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Wow. He did what? Lot chose for himself the whole Jordan Valley to the east of them. He went there with his flocks and servants and parted company with his uncle Abraham. So Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, and Lot moved his tents to a place near Sodom and settled among the cities of the plain. But the people of this area were extremely wicked and totally sinned against the Lord. Okay, how? Still need. Yeah, no, I think we have to punch them with this. Okay, yeah, I need to use AoE egos on that one to be redirected to the other thing. Hopefully, we're still going to kill there. Okay, after Lot had died, the Lord said to Abraham, "Look as far as you can see in every direction, north and south, east and west. I'm giving all this land as far as you can see to you and your descendants as a permanent possession. And I'll give you so many descendants that, like the dust of the earth, they cannot be counted. Go and walk through the land in every direction, for I am giving it to you." So Abraham moved his camp to Hebron and settled near the oak grove belonging to Mamre. There he built another altar to the Lord. Abraham rescues Lot. 14. About this time war broke out in the region. King Amphirio of Babylonia, King Arioch of Elizor, King Teldormer of Elam, and King Tadao of Doim fought against King Ber of Sodom, King Birsha of Gomorrah, King Sinab of Admah, King Semzabar of Zeboim, and King of Bela, also called Zor. We have phase 2, everlasting. Yes. Okay, and a holiday. Yearning. Flash? Yes, you can. Everyone's flashing. Good. Second group of kings joined forces in Siddim Valley, that is, the Valley of the Dead Sea. For 12 years, they had been subject to King Hildomlomer, but in the 13th year, they rebelled against him. 1 year later, Telodomir and his allies arrived and defeated the Rephilites at Asterophtarnium, the Zuzitiites at Ham, and the Emites at Savatirfam, and the Horites at the Mount Seir, as far as El Paran at the edge of the wilderness. Then they turned back and came to Ines. In Mishpat, now called Tadesh, and conquered all the territory of the Almekites, and also the Amorites living in Hazabon Tamar? Then the level kings of Sodom, Gomorrah, Adamah, Zeboim, and Bela, also called Zoar, prepared for battle in the Valley of the Dead Sea. They fought against King Teromar of Elam, King Tidal of Doim, King Armaphil of Babylonia, and King Arash of Elar. 4 kings against 5. As it happened, the Valley of the Dead Sea was filled with tar pits, and as the army of the kings of Sodom and Dorma fled, some fell into the tar pits, but the rest escaped into the mountains. The victorious invaders then plundered Sodom and Dorma, and headed for home, taking with them all the spoils of war and the food supplies. They also captured Lot, Abraham's nephew who lived in Sodom, and turned off everything he owned. But one of Lot's men escaped and brought everything to Abraham the Hebrew, who was living near the oak grove belonging to Mamre, the Amorite. Mamre and his relatives Eshcol and Anur were Abraham's allies. When Abraham heard that his nephew Lot had been captured, he mobilized the 318 trained men who had been born into his household. Then he pursued Teldomar's army until he caught up with them at Dan. There, he divided his men and attacked during the night. Teldomar's army fled, but Abraham chased them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. We have our rewards. We can only claim 1. I have to do another run, don't I? Well, it can't do it for rental, I guess. But you have to do it for the achievements. Time to do multiple hard runs in a single week, you know. Alright. Okay, now return to the second team. It's time for the Jesus gives Hindley his violin. But first, I had to buy the violin and the strap, because these are T-wordless. So, if I look at the thing correctly, both the unloving and manufacturer both floors 1 and 2, and then I take the Magic Hell bus for free, and then I complete the thing. I did the first sinking thing. I'll take unloving first. This one I should have easily did. I also bought everything, so I'm going to floor 15 once again. We'll take all of those as well, because we are still on the hunt for the hidden bosses. So we are first select node, so that no one will try to remove all talismans and beat it up. We have Wild Hunt Heathcliff, Ring Fauvists Docent Rodion, Edgar family Heir Gregor, Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Outis, Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Faust, Edgar family Butler Ishmael, and Ring Fauvists student Meursault. Backups include House of Spiders Ring Nursefather Hong Wu, the Ring Pointillist student Yisong, Rose Mariachis Jefe Sinclair, Edgar family chief Butler Ryōshū, and Cinq Association South Section 5 Director Docent. Alright, return to the Bible, where they just both a daring rescue operation to save what? Yeah. Chase them as far north of Damascus. Alright, we were right at the page turn, weren't we? I think we were, anyway. Alright. So it's going to be very slow build up until we actually didn't win every clash, but for terms of actually getting sinking going, I'm going to need some ego diffs. Abraham received all the goods that had been taken, and he brought back his nephew Lot with his possessions, and all the women and other captives. Melchizedek blesses Abraham. After Abraham returned from his victory over Chedorlaomer and all his allies, the king of Sodom went out to meet him in the Valley of Jefe. That is, the King's Valley. Okay, so I forgot that there's a second Tanto 5 ego diff. So wait, no, it's 5. Yeah, was it 6? Wait, no. Yeah, Tanto 6. Tanto 6 one, which is from a certain world, which is only floors 3 and 4. The thing is that overlaps also with Walpurgis Night sinking one. It's also 3 and 4. So now I have instead bought the Old Dunk Spanner, Twinkling Strap, and Frozen Tries. So it means I'll take Dregs of the Manor first. Second floor, I take Automated Factory. Third floor, then I can take the Walpurgis Night. Fourth floor, then I can fight Nelly. Fifth floor, I'm saying actually Heartbreaking for floor 10. And then fifth floor, I can continue as normal, going through into the new tier 5 sinking diff. And I keep going. Alright? I think that's a plan, and hopefully remember, Divide wins on Raid Up. It's not guaranteed, but the Manor Shaped Music Box is. Let's take Dregs of the Manor and see if we can fight Hindley. Also, it sort of runs into another issue here that a lot of these packs are only floors 3 and 4. It used to only be floor 3 most times, some of them floor 4, but they did extend like some of them for another pack. But I feel like every one of these theme packs should be available, at least the ones that have exclusive diffs. Like, okay, not necessarily stuff for technology, but Falling Flags exclusive diffs, it should be floors 6 to 10. I feel like should be allowed for them. Example, over here, Hitch and Spare, floors 3, 4. But the other Walpurgis one, which also has a sinking diff, is 6 to 10, so I don't have to worry about that one. I will have to worry about here though for Short Document of Tears and also Ashen Constellation's Blessing. So.
And Meursault, the king of Saram and a priest of God Most High, brought Abram some bread and wine. Meursault blessed Abram with this blessing. Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has defeated your enemies for you. Then Abram gave Meursault a tenth of all the goods he had recovered. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give back my people who are captured, but you may keep for yourself all the goods you have recovered." Abram replied to the Lord of Sodom, "I solemnly swear to the Lord, God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will not take so much as a single thread or sandal falling from what belongs to you. Otherwise, you might say, I am the one who made Abram rich. I will accept only what my young warriors have already eaten, and I will trust that you give a fair share of the goods to my allies, Anur, Asshur, and Mamur." The Lord's covenant promised to Abraham. 15. Sometime later, the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision and said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." We have My Form Empties, who will be facing the might of God. But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, what good are all your blessings when I don't even have a son? Since you've given me no children, a wiser of Damascus. A servant in my household will inherit all my wealth. You have given me no descendants of my own, so one of my servants will be my heir." And the Lord said to him, "No, your servant will not be your heir, for you will have a son of your own who will be your heir." Then the Lord took Abram outside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." And Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. And Abram... Oh, you know. Then the Lord said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land as your possession. But Abram replied, O sovereign Lord, how can I be sure thou actually possess it? And the Lord told him, bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. So I presented all these to him and killed them. The heifer. Yep, I don't know what a heifer is. Heifer. What is a heifer? Female cows who have not yet given birth to a calf. Alright. Once it's done, tries to throw AI and your junk in your face, so I just want to see what it means. Then he cut each animal down the middle and weighed the halves side by side. He did not, however, cut the birds in half. Some vultures swooped down to eat the carcasses, but Abram chased them away. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to drop some egos to destroy. Actually, now let me have the fight play out normally. As the sun was going down, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a terrified darkness came down over him. Then the Lord said to Abram, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land, where they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. But I will punish the nation that enslaves them, and in the end, they will come away with great wealth. As for you, you will die in peace and be buried at a ripe old age. After 4 generations, your descendants will return here to this land. For the sins of the Amorites do not yet warrant their destruction. After the sun went down and darkness fell, Abram saw a smoking firepot and a flaming torch pass between the halves of the carcasses. So the Lord made a covenant with Abraham that day and said, I've given this land to your descendants, all the way from the border of Egypt to the great Euphrates River. The land now occupied by the Kenites, Tizelites, Tadamonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephaites, Amorites, Canaanites, Digasharites, and Jebusers. Jebusers? Wait, but aren't they already living there? God? There's gonna be conflict, you know. The birth of Ishmael? No! What do you mean Ishmael got birthed? No! No? Please reconsider that she gets born. Please reconsider this. No. I don't want Ishmael to be born. No. I don't want Ishmael to be born. You gotta understand. I don't want it to happen. This is bad news for all gamers. Alright? Of course, I don't know who the Bible Ishmael is. I only know the Limbus company Ishmael. 16. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, had not been able to bear children for him, but she had an Egyptian servant named Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, the Lord has prevented me from having children. Don't sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can have a child through her. And Abram agreed with Sarai's proposal. So Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, the Egyptian servant, and gave her to Abraham as a wife. This happened 10 years after Abram had settled in the land of Canaan. So Abram had sexual relations with Hagar, and she became pregnant. But when Hagar knew she was pregnant, she began to treat her mistress, Sarai, with contempt. Then Sarai said to Abram, this is all your fault! I put my servant into your arms, but now that she's pregnant, she treats me with contempt. The Lord will show who's wrong, you or me. Abram replied, look, she is your servant, so deal with her as you see fit. Then Sarai treated Hagar so harshly that she finally ran away. The angel of the Lord found Hagar beside a spring of water in the wilderness, along the road to Sur. Ida is the one who lived, really? Oh. The angel said to her, Hagar, Sarai's servant, where have you come from, and where are you going? I'm running away from my mistress, Sarai, she replied. The angel of the word said to her, return to your mistress and submit to her authority. Then he added, I'll give you more descendants than you can count. And the angel also said, you are now pregnant and will give birth to a son. You are to name him Ishmael, which means God hears. Wait, really? Let's see what Ishmael's name means. God hears. I can't take that seriously, you know. God hears Ishmael, and it's Limbus company Ishmael. You don't even have a DSC association, you know. And then that would just be another sinking identity. We have so many sinking identities. No. No. For the Lord has heard your cry of distress. The son of yours will be a wild man, as untamed as a wild donkey. He will raise his fist against everyone, and everyone will be against him. Yes, he will live in open hostility against all his relatives. Therefore, Hagar used another name to refer to the Lord who had spoken to her. She said, you are the God who sees me. No. No, I touch it. No. Stop. Stop. No. She also said, have I truly seen the one who sees me? So that well was named Berlaloi, which means well of the living one who sees me. It can still be found between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar gave Abram a son, and Abram named him Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Ishmael was born. Abram is named Abraham. 17. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, I am El Shaddai, God Almighty. Serve me faithfully and with a blameless life. I will make a covenant with you, by which I will guarantee to give you countless descendants. At this, Abraham fell down on the ground. Then God said to him, this is my covenant with you. I'll make you the father of a multitude of nations. What's more, I am changing your name. It will no longer be Abram. Instead, you will be called Abraham. For you will be the father of many nations. I'll make you extremely fruitful. Your descendants will become many nations, and kings will be among them. I will confirm my covenant with you and your descendants after you, from generation to generation. This is the everlasting covenant. I will always be your God, and the God of your descendants after you. And I will give you the entire land of Canaan, where you now live as a foreigner. To you and your descendants, it will be their possession forever, and I will be their God. The mark of the covenant. Then God said to Abraham, your responsibility is to obey the terms of the covenant. You and all your descendants have this constitutional responsibility. This is a covenant that you and your descendants must keep. Alright, first, we will see if we can get Hindley's violin. First refresh, nothing. Nothing. It's on rate up. It's on rate up. They said it was on rate up. They claimed 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 it was on rate up. Okay.